It's Playoff Central Live. Matt Weiner, Kevin McHale right over there. Fellow Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas here with us as well. Portland, despite 42 from Damian Lillard, 32 in the first half, couldn't keep up offensively with Denver and for the most part just couldn't get stops all night long, which has been a problem this entire season. What for you, Zeke, changed from game one to game two to change this result so significantly in favor of the home team?
Well, you saw better ball movement from Denver, more aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball. And they really got into Portland and made them do some things they didn't want to do. Dame was great because he was able to create his own shot. But I thought Denver's aggressiveness, their defense, and the way Jokic moved the ball, but also just the way they were able to get in transition and create off turnovers, really gave them the edge tonight.
Yeah, I thought Jokic is not getting double-teamed at all because they didn't want Jokic to pass. Right. They had one assist the first game. He only had 5 tonight. So when you don't get double-teamed, you go to work. And so you see, watch, you're going to see a bunch of 4 and 5 dribble moves. And he's been making his normal shots he does make. But, when you have the ball in your hand and you can make 4 and 5 dribble moves, that's like playing out in the park with your buddy one-on-one. I mean, that's just way too much to give him that much space.
Right.
And I think, you got to take something away from great players. But and I don't think they want to double team him. But I look at the rest of the roster and I say, can those guys make enough shots, even if you are double teaming him? I just don't think you can let that big fellow just play one-on-one like that. I mean, there was multiple times he'd dribble here and he'd stop and spin back over here, then go back over there, and everybody stood hugged up. And to me, that was a big thing. It worked well in game one. Took the assist. It's taking the assist away from Jokic, but he's just too good to give him that many dribbles.
Especially if he knows it's coming.
Yes.
You probably had an inkling after what happened in game one. Denver much better from the three-point line tonight. They knocked down 12 of 28. Portland was great from the three-point line, but they also turned it over 21 times. And again, Zeke, you have to look to the defensive end when you think about Portland and their chances to make a long-term run in the postseason. They were second to last in defensive efficiency in the regular season, and tonight was one of those nights where they just didn't get a lot of stops.
Yeah, I mean, we focus and we concentrate so much on offense, and we talk about the offense a lot. But at the end of the day, defense wins championships. And, what Portland has is they got great offensive players, but at some point in time, if they want to take the next step and advance to the next rounds and become a serious championship contender, they got to become a great defensive team.
We had some contentious moments in this game as well in Colorado, some playoff skirmishes early on in the series. It's only game 2, and these two are already at it. A number of occasions where guys were in each other's faces early on in the game. See Campazzo getting in there between Nurkic and Austin Rivers. Nate Tibbetts, assistant coach, wound up getting a technical foul for this gathering near midcourt.
You can tell the league hasn't hit anybody in a long time because Nate Tibbetts came running up there like he was 7'2" or 3, and that dude is about 5'9". So I think one good pop stops a lot of that stuff.
So Carmelo knock over Jokic there. Jokic didn't really react to it, but referees took notice. And then this Facundo Campazzo just absolutely baiting C.J. McCollum into what they call the flagrant one. I thought that'd be a dead ball technical, but they called it a flagrant one. And then Jokic teed up on the sideline after a foul he didn't like. There were a lot of free throws, a lot of fouls called in a very, very choppy game. For you guys, having played in so many playoff games and coached in so many playoff games, how does it affect the game itself when it is as choppy as this one was, with a lot of stoppages, a lot of whistles?
I don't like a lot of stoppages when you're playing and coaching either. It ruins the rhythm of the game. Hey, you're not going to like each other. It's the playoffs. You play each other every other night. And I'm actually liking that. It's the second game. You've already decided you don't like each other. You're not going to like each other in 3 more games. Might as well start it now.
Why wait till game 6?
Yeah, well, why wait till game 4? And so you go, I don't like them. So I'm just going to get chippy. And they started, doing that stuff. But the thing that gets me is a lot of the stoppages. I just think it just takes way too long. The game keeps flowing. I don't mind little skirmishes like that. I just think it just adds something to the game. I think some of the best competition, when you start getting it personal with the other team and really just taking it personal, and a lot of yapping, a lot of trash talking and stuff like that, that's fun.
It's part of what makes the playoffs great. And Zeke, in today's game, the for the most part, we know nothing's really going to happen, right? They're going to gather at midcourt. They all know they can't have a real fight because that means suspensions and
for a year
and unbelievable fines, and suspensions mean games lost in the playoffs. I don't know. How do you view this early antagonism between the two teams?
I like it also. As Kevin said, it's good to have a little animosity. Sometimes it's best when you have a lot of animosity. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you control and play with that and use that animosity and that emotion to get a basket or stop someone else from getting a basket? And I think from the official standpoint, what we were fortunate enough, I believe, in our era is that I think the officials knew and had a certain kind of instinct or feel in terms of, okay, there's aggression, there's pushing and shoving, but nobody's really getting ready to throw a punch.
Right.
So therefore, we keep it moving. We don't have to stop and have a 5-minute, talk or dissertation about who's right, who's wrong. But, it's just about, okay, hey, cut it out and let's keep it moving. And Mikhail, how many times have one of us been knocked to the ground and Jack Madden or Jake Donald will run by and they do this?
Yeah, get up. Just keep playing.
Come on.
Yeah. I'm not blowing a whistle.
Exactly.
Just get up and run.
Exactly.
All right, just get up and run back.
That's great. All right, for Portland now, you're going to say, or they're probably going to say mission accomplished, right? They go into Denver. They take one of two. But coming out of this, what's the adjustment that you see right off the bat for Terry Stotts moving forward?
Well, I think as Mikhail said, I think defensively they're going to have to do something with Jokic. I mean, he's MVP of the league, and he's playing. He and Embiid are playing like true big men. And in the NBA today, we don't have real big men playing the way these two are playing. And when big men decide to play and throw their weight around and move and hey, they control the game. They can control the tempo of the game. How they control the tempo of the game is they get to the foul line a lot. So therefore, your offense is always playing against 5-on-5. And then when they start leaning that weight on you and putting that weight on you for 4 quarters, that wears you down too. So guys like Jokic and Embiid, as Mikhail was saying, you have to double team those guys because they become so disruptive because they get you into the penalty early. And before you know it, every time there's a foul, somebody's going to the line and they just, knocking down free throws. And before you know it, you're down 10.
Jokic is so good at reading whatever he's given and taking it. And boy, he took a lot tonight. 15 of 20 from the field.
Yeah. I mean, just basically, if you're going to give a really talented player just a whole bunch of dribbles and a whole bunch of space, and look at no one's coming right now. I mean, he's playing bully ball. He's just knocking them out of the way. But someone has got to come down there and dig and get the ball out of his hands. And you got to make somebody else beat you. I know that he's more than capable of beating you, with the pass. But you got to make somebody else score. He's now what's the biggest difference to me with Jokic is right now his little set shot is just money. That 15-footer, he moved it out to the 3-point line. He just makes